Hey guys, this is Dark Skeleton, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be playing Analogue, a hate story, which is, I'm not exactly sure what it is. Does it qualify as a visual novel? I guess that's probably the closest thing it is to, so,
Guys,
lots of text
Dark
reading.
Skeleton, and today we're going to be.
Oh my god, I have it in the background.
We're going
Oh
to be
shit,
playing
hold on.
Analog, a hate story, which is.
Damn, my voice
I'm
is
not
sexy.
exactly sure what it is.
Why
Does
the
it
hell do I have
qualify
Twitch
as a
open?
visual novel? I guess that's probably the closest thing it is to.
Firefox?
So,
God.
guys,
Lots of
this is
text
Dark-
reading. So, sorry about that. Anywho, as I'm going to restart for some reason, I'm Dark Skeleton, and this is Analogue, a hate story. The text menu. What are we gonna do here? We are gonna get out of the menu. Ooh, you can play in Korean and Nihongo, Japanese. Is this game Korean or is it Japanese? I think it might be Korean. Or an American made by a weeboo. Who knows? So we'll just go ahead and start from the beginning. I've barely touched this game. It's just been sitting on my Steam list for games I want to play. But I haven't actually got around to it. Okay. Starship Mugunghwa, which is definitely Korean. Internal computer. Notice! Quite good to be a systems admin. Aha. Geeky tech shit. This system is property of the Unified Korea Space Probe Agency. Access is not allowed by individuals who are not affiliated with the UKSPA or ASXSSSSSS or organization is a felony under the UKSPA Act of 2383 I can read. Last login, Kim Hyun-I. Someone will need to explain Korean to me sometime. 221,432 days ago. What the hell? That is a really long time. So I've been told. Okay. Most time spent at the starting screen ever. Error. AI personality currently disabled. Reverting to command line. Oh, I know command line. Sudo make me a sandwich. What do you mean, did I misspell it? Okay, help. Oh, what a useful terminal. Download. Where's the point? Sudo download. I have to speak to the AI? Okay, enable the AI then. Haha. Hyun-I. Enable AI personality. Hyun. This game is great for teaching you how to use Linux. Okay. Personality Hyun-I is now activated. You may close the terminal with quit. What if I don't want to close it? What if I disable her? Disable, yeah. Haha, wrecked. Now you want to quit. What do you mean there's nothing to quit to? There's plenty out there other than AI personalities. Okay. Enable AI Hyun-I. Now quit. Aha. My elite Linux nerd bullshit is pulling through. Hello? Oh my word, an external connection? Is someone out there for the first time in 220,000 years? Maybe. Maybe. It's been so many years since I've spoken to anyone. Okay, never mind, it's a dating sim. Oh, jeez. Hold on. Alright, I need nerd glasses for that. Where are nerd glasses? Ah, shit. I can't do it. Oh, jeez. I'm stuck. Oh, jeez. I'm being discourteous. My apologies. Please allow me to introduce myself. Oh, yeah. My name is Hyun-I. Why is the star? The star is, of course, silent. Star Hyun-I. Hyun-e. Hyun. I've probably pissed off every Korean. I control all the log-keeping systems on the Mugunghwa, or at least what's left of them. Please just excuse me for 1 second. I'll give you a terminal so you can respond. Aw, yeah. There you are. Go ahead and introduce myself. I'm your leader. No. Well, did I just do something? No, skip mode. I should put in a real name. Dog skeleton, go! Ah, geez. My apologies. I don't know why, but what you just typed looked like garbage to me. Well, f you too. That's bad. I think there might be a problem with my language parsing systems. Sorry. Somehow your input is getting mangled between the terminal and me. I'm so terribly sorry. Let me just try something. Can you understand this? Yes, I can. Alright. Nice smile. Hyun I. Hyun star Hyun I. Very well, we have that at least. I'm afraid if we can't get text input fixed, that'll have to suffice. Yes and no can fix everything. I'm terribly sorry. It must be difficult being unable to say anything. Yeah, probably. This might be difficult then. Well, nevertheless, as the archive system AI, I'll do my best to help you navigate these records anyway. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, it might be a little difficult since, well, without language parsing, you won't be able to do text searches either. I thought it was going to say, you won't exist. I don't exist. I am an apricot. Don't worry though. It's my duty to provide assistance with archive functions. I'll do my best. Archive functions? Right, let's see. I'll try to provide you with a sampling of logs. I need to stop watching myself. I'll try to provide you with the sampling logs to sort out with, and you can just show me things that you want more information on. Okay, cool. I hope that'll be acceptable to you. That's all I can do. So sad. Well, that's all, I suppose. Pardon me, let me just build you an interface to work with, so you don't have to struggle with the terminal. Very well. It's all set. Yeah. And, I suppose this is a little bit awkward, but, can you just say one more thing before I can get to work? No. Pardon. So yeah, I understand. Here's your interface. Correct? Speak with Hyun I. I should Google how that's actually pronounced. If you look in your interface, once you open a document, you can click on that little button of me to show me whatever it is. So which subject do you want to know more about? The log documents, why not? Oh, wait. I thought I can't use search. But now I can. Data blocks 4, why not? Oh yeah, a pack of idiots. When our family falls into decline, I just want it to be perfectly clear why. It's because Daehyun's sons are the biggest collection of idiots on the entire ship. Father says these sorts of words shouldn't be written down, calling them unfilial, but I'm skeptical. I intend no disrespect to my noble ancestors, but my dead uncle is no ancestor of mine, and his family deserves no respect. This has been in motion for years now. It was an inevitability that any sons of Daehyun would churn out the way they did. But up until now, to anyone outside of the family, it's been well hidden. Only now is it starting to fall. Click. Next page. apart in a way that no amount of good politics can disguise. The turning point was this year. At the time I write this, I am returning from Sang Jun's funeral, and that family there were three brothers: Sang Jun, the drunk; Sang Kyu, the dim-witted brute; and Sang Min, who, despite being the eldest, seems to have more interest in cavorting with courtesans than creating an heir. Noticeably absent from the morning's proceedings was Sang Kyu. What he was doing, I do not know. Knowing him, I can only guess. Click. The affair was made even more laughable by Sang Min and his widowed mother. Insistence that Sang Jun had died of natural causes. Apparently, they even found a doctor willing to put such nonsense on the official record. An unmarried noble managing to drink his way into the early grave at only 30 years of age would be embarrassing enough. To brazenly try to hide the obvious, however, hair flip, that will mark the beginning of the Smith family's fall. I didn't know anyone was called Smith in Korea, but okay. Oh, hello. Actually, I was just testing that indicator icon to see if I could get your attention. Thank you. I just thought, it would be a good way of letting you know when I have something to say. I mean, like, if I think it's super important, I can always just interrupt you. Is she like a Sunder or something? Sunder there? But, I don't want to distract you if I can help it. I mean, that'd suck, right? What kind of computer program forces herself onto you right in the middle of you trying to work? So I'll try not to do that. Anyway, that's all. I guess it worked. Carry on, and I'll set the indicator again if I want to tell you something. Yep. What happens if I show the message? So here's the background, I suppose. There were two major noble families on the Myunggunghwa. The Kims were the big one, as I'm sure you can see. The Smiths were the other major family, but I'm afraid I can't tell you very much about them. Mystery. Interesting. They were the most important family on the ship, until just before the end. The High Magistrate was a Smith until the last year, even. I can give you a little bit about them for reference, so you can see who the Kim men thought their big enemy was. The Smiths didn't really matter very much at the end, so I can't, well, I don't know much about them. I certainly never met any of them on the road. So I'm just going off what I've read. I'm not sure what we got on the road from, but okay. Here, this should give you an idea of what I mean. Oh. Wait, I've already read that. Content. Oh, more stuff. Okay, cool. Show message. Sorry, I don't really think there's anything about them you'd find relevant. Despite having hardly shown their faces in the entire time I have lived in the Smith house, the second branch of the family had taken it upon themselves to visit again. A week after we were forced to endure their smug eye-rolling at the funeral. Of course, it would be impolite to turn them all away at the door, so no matter how poor taste their timing was, so what other choice did we have to let them in? Husband wanted to have nothing to do with them, being distracted by Jang Mi, and mother-in-law had been hiding in a room, leaving it to me to entertain them. Flick. Of course, as soon as I had sent their son to go see our daughter, cousin-in-law Kyung Sam made it quite clear that it was not that sort of visit. His wife just sat there, silent, while he ripped into me. I couldn't write down all his words. It was simply one line of abuse after another. Apparently, we were to be blamed for Sang Kyu leaving before they showed up, for wearing the wrong mourning garb, for my husband's shocked reaction at his brother's death. In fact, we were to be blamed for his death itself. All he kept shouting about was how embarrassing for the family it was that a nobleman of the Smith house had been allowed to drink himself to death. As if the real tragedy was that it looked bad. I might not have felt bad about Sang Jun dying, but the rest of the family did. To hear such words making light of their loss was appalling. Yet, he kept going, shouting awful thing after awful thing, until finally the most unexpected thing happened. Mother-in-law entered the room! Whoosh. What is going on here? She asked. He stood up. I was just passing on a message to his son's wife about his disgraceful conduct, since he won't show his face himself. Then he added, I'm embarrassed to be a Smith right now. Do you think people don't know much about our family's shame? Do you have any idea how much of a fool I look like? I never saw a more terrifying expression in someone's face. She just glared at him. Finally, she said, Yes, but you clearly do not. Or you would have lowered your voice. It took him a moment for that to register, then he was just as shocked. But his mother-in-law wasn't done. Please leave, said she. Now. They stared at each other for a good while. Mother-in-law naturally won, and with a scowl, Kyung-sam and his family departed. When they had left, I turned to her. Thank you, I said, but she just shook her head in disgust and exited to her own room without another word. Cool. Not sure why I'm reading all of these, but okay. Click. By example. I have given up on any attempt at convincing the main branch family to get their act together, as clearly speaking reason to any of that pack of idiots is a fool's errand. And now I can only hope that their self-destruction is quick, such that when it's my son's turn to pick up the pieces of the Smith's name's reputation, he will be able to do it as soon as possible. He seems far less worried about it than I am. Of course, he is only a child, but the boy is mature for his years, and perhaps there's a wisdom in his calmness. All we have to do is be better than them, right? He asked me while I was in a rage about the handling of the funeral. Isn't it that what gentlemen do? Lead by example. He is right, of course. As a noble family, we're supposed to be an example to the middle classes and the commoners. And the slaves, perhaps so too must we serve as his example to the family of the High Magistrate and his brother. Perhaps things will not be so doomed for my son after all. It will be hard for him, of course, if the main branch family continues on this path to decay. But if any boy will grow up to be able to put things right, I believe it is him. Cool. Here comes the fall. Here comes the fall. At least nobody's going to say that I didn't see this coming. News that Sang Min has gotten sacked just came in, which is definitely the death of any respectability in this family. Temporarily leave, as it's been described as. But it's obviously a political move on the part of the Emperor. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what he's playing at too. He's hoping that making a move against Sang Min will push him over the edge. Make him do something indefensibly stupid, and use that as an excuse to shuffle him off for good. It's a good plan, it'll work. Meanwhile, the Kim family seems to be up on the rise, getting ready to fill the gaps left by our collapse. And now it's all up to my son. If he's not able to rebuild after all of this, then the whole family is doomed to permanent decline. Everything rides on him. Okay. Do more log documents. Block 6. Dear Smith. Mute. Smith Kyung-sam. I don't know why you insist on putting this all in writing when we could just have a perfectly good conversation. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to do it. Whatever you want, you're the man. I just think it's a little weird. I don't really get it. Anyway, as to your question, you're spot on about the pale bride being the focus of attention in the royal family. Not for the reasons you wanted, though. I don't know where you heard those rumors, but they are so not true. That girl, a troublemaker, no way I don't see it. Like, it's not even convincing as a rumor. That girl is the most polite, most obedient person I've ever seen in my entire life. The idea of her fighting her husband is completely unimaginable. In over a month, I've never seen so much as heard her raise her voice in disagreement. She's quiet, courteous, and does everything she's told without even the slightest hesitation. I'm sorry, but there's just no way that you could possibly exploit any drama here. This is as undramatic as a situation gets, especially not compared to what the situation with your cousin and that courtesan. Don't get me wrong, she bugs the hell out of me. The girl is just too perfect. She's young, she's beautiful, she's demure to the point where I don't even think that she has a personality of her own, but she also gets along perfectly with the queen. Of course, she commands all the attention of the emperor. Like, can you blame him? I'm sorry, but there's just no way he's ever going to be anything but extremely grateful to the Kim family for giving her over. Okay, cool. Is there more I can read on Block 6? Not right now. Block 9. The new heir. When he died this year, my father was an absolute nobody. I don't say this to disrespect his honor, it's the complete opposite. He knew it, and that was a face far worse than what he ever deserved. It wasn't until I was maybe 16 that I even realized we were supposed to be from a noble family. Certainly, we never had such much of means. Father was a minor official on the interior decks, and spent his last days dealing with minor peasant disputes. Of all things, peasant disputes. With the poverty we lived in, no wonder it never really sank in that we were of noble blood. Not until I met the main family for the first time. They were proud, despite the fact that I now realized that they were too suffering from our same lack of royal favor, but I could tell the difference. They hadn't given up. Their son was still alive at that time, and even though he was a child half my age, I couldn't believe his confidence. It put us to shame. Absolutely put us to shame. But their son died later that year, and my father died just a few months ago. I didn't know what we were going to do, but mother managed to convince sister's husband to adopt me into the main Kim family. I don't think it took much. And so now, I'm heir, just like that, Kim Jung-soo's adopted son. Not that I have the time or position to be proud, but having spoken sincerely with my new father, I think we're going to be on the same page. I am going to study furiously, and I'm going to become a scholar official. What I didn't tell him was my ambition. I won't settle for any peasant jobs. I'll be better than that. I'm not going to stop until I manage to fulfill my father's dream, High Magistrate. I won't settle. I will not settle. I think Jing-soo expects me to disappoint him, but I damn well will not. If I'm heir to the Kim family, I'm not going to let him down. He wants prosperity, I'll give it to him. More importantly, I'm never going to let any other Kim son feel like his family doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Never again. I swear on my ancestors, never again. Cool. Marital Admonitions Part 7. To the woman who will marry my husband, but please do not think that all of this is meant to say you will be unloved. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that is a precious gift to the Ryu family. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for you will receive a heavy burden on our house, and for that I am grateful. As proof of his affection for you, let me share one secret, which I have been permitted to only tell you. In honor of you, my husband, in his capacity as captain and emperor, has permanently changed his admin password to his birth name. My sister, you will be brought into the Ryu family not as a mere lowly woman, but a symbol of power in the inner chambers. You will not only represent the continuation of the Ryu bloodline by providing him a son, but your very name will represent the power of the captain's computer. Understand this, pale bride. Your duty may be great, but you will be loved. Okay, cool. think there was one more. Helpful notes. A cliche to remember. Namjoon Yulbi. Men are honored, women are abased. If you can remember only one thing, remember this phrase. Namjoon Yaobi. Namjoon Yaobi. Men are honored, women are abased. Okay. Kim family tree. Oh, pale chai. Pale bride. Jung Soo's son. Oh Nam Kyu. Oh Tai Hyun. Oh Ji In. Sun Hee. Park Kang Dai. Yun Mi. Hyo Min Jung. Jung Soo. Hyo. Young Seok's father. Young Seok. Han. Question mark. Jung Soo's father. The question here is, who is Jung Soo's father's wife? Who knows? Okay, so what is this game actually about? I wonder if there's some secret IDs you can only look up if you know the ID. Recent messages. Kim family tree. Oh, well, I know about that one. Show message. That's the end of the Kim family tree as best as I could possibly manage to compile it. I'm afraid it's the best I could do. Ordinarily, women's names aren't ever put on the genealogies, so I had trouble with those. I hope that helps you keep track of the family, though. Why do I need to keep track of the family? If you look in your interface, once you open a document, you can click on that little button with me to show whatever it is. So which subject do you want to know more about? Well, sorry, I just heard you've heard that already. Right? I think I was just repeating myself here. Sorry, I kind of tend to do that. That's, well, the problem with computers. They tend to respond in the same way to things. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't help it. I won't mention it again, but, well, here, let me change something to make things less confusing for you. If the Speak to Me menu item or the Show Message button is grayed out, that means I have nothing new for you. Hopefully that will help. Otherwise, it's just a weird quirk you'll have to accept. Sorry. Log documents? Is there anything new? No? Okay. So I guess I go into the terminal then. Cool. Hello. Okay. Oh. Maybe I need to get that guy's birth name in order to download. Oh, maybe I do it using the family tree. Okay, home. Log documents. Log 10, was it? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Captain and Emperor has permanently changed his admin password to your birth name. Okay, what's your birth name? Kim family tree. Pale bride's birth name. Let's go try Pale Bride in the terminal. Download. Okay. Let's go find Pale Bride's birthnight. Nope. Sangmin. Smith Kyung-san. Weren't they mentioning some girl who was getting married? Sangmin. Okay, that's not quite it. Dear Smith? Oh yeah, here it is. Pale Bride. Okay. Girl's just too perfect. Okay. Ryu Jai Hua. Why did they call her Pale Bride? I guess it's a title. Well, I suppose I can give you more about young Swak. I don't know. I don't think you'll find him very interesting, but here, you can see for yourself. It wasn't until I was maybe 16. Royal family. The son died. I'm not going to stop until I fulfill my father's dream. High magistrate. Okay, that's not quite it. Oh, more information. Okay, good. Yes, wife. Okay, the new happiness. Dearest mother, finally I believe young Seok has grown comfortable with me. All it took was some time for me to earn his trust. Learning how to read by watching over my husband's shoulder isn't how I envisioned to spend my first year of marriage. I can't complain about anything that makes me spend so much time with him, though. We've talked and decided we won't strive for a son right away. Right now he's just not ready for it. That aside, things are good. If this is what married life is like, I think I can be happy with this. We're getting along quite well, and I like him. Perhaps it's not quite what I was led to expect, but it's still good. Domestic bliss indeed. Last week, young Sock was reading over some papers for a dispute that the magistrate park was deciding on. You wouldn't understand the details, but it was essentially an argument between a farmer and his lord over a large sum of money after a particularly poor harvest. I think I will tell the magistrate that the farmer is right. His claim is fair. He told me. Might I take a look? I asked. Bemused, he handed the papers to me. It took a good while of studying just to be sure, all right. I wouldn't want to contradict my husband if he was right, but farmer's numbers didn't seem to add up. I pointed this out to him. He was not only listened patiently, but had me explain. Then you believe the farmer is trying to cheat his lord, he asked. I did. That's what I will report then. The next day that he told me that the magistrate agreed. And ever since he has started to rely on my opinion when it comes to anything involving math. Cool. The new friendship, Kim Young-seok. While it's alarming that I might be, as my wife suggests, alarmingly serious, it's hard to argue with enjoying a nice meal out if it means cultivating Magistrates Park's trust even more. Just having the invitation alone is a pretty good sign. I assumed we would be going to his house after finishing with the day's affairs, but instead he led the other way. Oh, you do not want to visit there. Oh, you do not want to visit there. My son is a newborn child who is very, very unconductive to entertain guests, I'm afraid. He said with a laugh. Surely you will understand. Instead, we headed to the plaza. Outside of the occasional New Year's festivals, when I was a child, I had never actually been there before. I had never had so much an eye for details at the time. So I was surprised to see now just how richly decorated everything was. For what was essentially a giant market, beautiful floral arrangements adorned every stall, wall, and partition. And rather than the commotion of a crowd, all I could hear was the sound of peaceful music. It was still, of course, a market. There were no merchants loudly hawking wares, and some of the prices on the signs I saw would make the emperor blush. In that atmosphere we ate together at a public house that defied my expectations. The food was plentiful and far better than anything I've ever eaten in both houses. Either of my houses. If this sounds indulgent, it absolutely is. And I definitely don't plan on telling anybody the details like this. The only thing I plan to repeat from this evening is what the magistrate confided in me. That when he was moved from his position, he'd like to recommend me to fill his place. I'd be young for the position, but it would be a great stepping stone to the one I've been dreaming of. I remained calm, since I'm good at that, but it's the best news I've heard in my life. The new magistrate, Young Seok's wife. Dearest mother, if you hadn't already heard the good news, my husband has been appointed by the Emperor to the position of magistrate. He's taken over the office from Magistrate Park starting today, which is tremendously huge for a man of his age. I have no doubt that he was perfectly humble when he got the news, since he certainly has been, while talking about it in front of father-in-law. In private, though, it's another story. Earlier, the family held a small feast to celebrate the news, and he had the same attitude then, too. But afterwards, when everybody had gone to bed, we stayed up to sit together drinking wine, and it was a whole lot more somber. He wasn't modest, but he wasn't boastful either. He was just outright insecure. He might not say it in front of you, but you know what? He said it to me as I poured him more wine. He takes all the credit for my position. According to him, it's all because of the Emperor's perfect new bride, which is, of course, all because of him. I said quietly, I don't want to take up credit for her. I wasn't the one who got her to shut up. That was all him. I don't like discussing it, and please, Mother, don't ask me why. Doesn't matter, he said. That's not why I got promoted. I got promoted because High Magistrate Park and I managed to make Smith look so bad he had to get shuffled off. It's exposing the whoring and thuggery that did it, not the damn pale bride, he said with annoyance. Well, that's how he is. You know he'll never give you credit for anything. I just said. He replied, I know, I just wish he'd acknowledge it. I just don't know how he can be so stupid as to not be proud of me, you know? I know, I said. But let's just not focus on that right now. I think we should focus on the good instead. How about we toast to your success then? Here's to the new Magistrate Kim. I raised my glass and drank. He betrayed the faintest of smiles, but he didn't share my toast, and instead of put down his glass. For a moment I was worried, but then he used that hand to grab my chin instead, and for the first time ever, kissed me. On the mouth far sweeter than any wine. He said to me, I wasn't sure if he meant the kiss or the success, but I agreed either way. Okay. Hey K2, thanks for the compliment. I wasn't sure if I was doing that good or not. Let's see. This game has quite a bit of reading. Or, really, this is a visual novel. Which is sort of a game, but not really. Oh, right, no, I can't do that. I still don't know the name of Pale Bride. Let's see here. Which block was I in? 10? Okay, I'll slow down a bit. You know, I can probably get the AI to tell me more information if I click here and then show message. Ah, of course, the last person to hold the titles of Captain and Emperor on the ship was Ryu In-ho. Ryu In-ho. Which of Captain's wives do you want to know more about? Jae-hwa? Okay, that might be the password. Very well, she wrote a lot, so this is going to be trickery to filter. I guess I'll just start at the top and let you figure out what's important. Her name. Okay, yeah, I've already seen that one. Huh? Yu Jae-hwa. Okay, I guess I have to ask her about the other one. Probably you indirectly find out what the Pale Bride's name is. Very well. I don't have much on her that I think you would find relevant, though. Let's see. Here, how about this? And then 3 new articles. Confidence, okay, that's what I'm looking for. When my husband asked what I thought of the idea of him taking a new wife, I presented him with the weakest of smiles, but said that I thought it would be a good idea if he thought so. That I would be happy if a younger woman were to relieve me of the pressure of bringing him a son. I have no doubt that this is the answer he wanted me to give, with a convincing enough expression to go along with it. If there's one thing I am confident in, it's my ability to read exactly what my husband wants to hear. Having heard that the girl he is considering is only 13 years of age, okay, that's a thing. However, it is certain that I have no confidence in any other thing. He'll take her in a few years, right when she's reached the marriage age. She will be at the peak of her beauty, and won't have matured too much. Doubtlessly, unlike me, she will have no problem in delivering the son he needs. Perhaps jealousy is unbecoming of me, but it is pragmatic too. When we were young, his affections for me were so strong, but now that we are both old, how could I possibly compete with a younger bride? That didn't help too much. Oh, there's a new block. Okay, that's a thing. Month of good fortune. The second month of the 319th year was one of the great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a second daughter of marriage age to give him. To that, as a second wife, his first wife had been unable to provide a son, and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month, I had no daughter in my family to give. My only son, Young Seok, was still without child, yet it was a perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it's true. Passed on through the generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg of translucent luster, such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside. She is known as Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in our family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Okay, that's slightly creepy. Yeah, as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter to provide the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble house once and for all. Considering this, I promised the emperor that I did not have a daughter who would soon be of marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg such that the Pale Bride passed through the Kim family for years could be adopted as my own daughter. She is a strange child, but will make a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune this means. Broken Promise. The Pale Bride. Dear Diary, last week I woke up from cryostasis. Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future, they'd have medicine again, that I'd finally get better, that I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster, while I was in the stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks. Insufferable child. Dearest Mother, do you recall how in my last letter I mentioned the Pale Bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I've ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace. With Young Sok's adopted mother visiting her own family, I have been given full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She was in trouble so often, one would think she was a boy. She acts like one too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she has lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from a less civilized time. Just last night, she made a huge scene at the dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of Young Sok and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she too was sick to eat. She has said this before too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is of course in perfect health. When I asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing was rubbing it in that she was in a far more delicate and beautiful than Jai. Jay? What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? Okay. Okay, show message. I'm afraid nearly everything the man wrote was of very little value. It all reads like that. Boring, stiff, obnoxiously patriarchal. Are you really sure you want more from Kim Jung-soo? Why not, if you insist. Very well. I've added the other relevant entries from him. I'll caution you from taking them seriously, though. The second month of the 13th... Wait, did I already read this one? The second month of the 319th year was one of great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a daughter of marriage age to give him, to take as a second wife. His first wife had been unable to provide a son and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. I think I already read this. Yeah, okay. Okay, the bride's adolescence. The pale bride grew to be a fine, demure young wife, but she was not always this way. Near the end of the year 319, she had a temper unruly enough to be mistaken for a boy's. Do not look upon her wild days with disapproval. She was from another, yet less civilized time. Rather, look upon her eventual submission as a testament to her good character and filiality. That she was able to overcome such a wild nature, for the sake of the Kim family and for the sake of her husband. One evening, she stormed into the common room while I was discussing business matters with a debatee. "We need to talk," she demanded loudly. When I indicated I was busy, that only caused her to become even louder. "Right now!" Embarrassed, I was forced to excuse him to address the child. "Is this a joke? Are you serious? You've made wedding plans?" She shrieked at me. "Please calm yourself," I told her, and sat her down after admonishing her for rude interruption. I tried to do what I could to calm her. It seemed that she had a rather bizarre set of expectations, that she wouldn't marry until she was many years after growing into a woman. That she would elope with any love-struck man who came her way, with no regard for her own chastity. That she would have no assistance or protection in finding a suitable husband. Simply put, her ideas were as bizarre as they were dangerous, and for this she has gotten angry at the news, rather than the excitement that one would expect from a girl who found out that she would be getting a husband. Not even the sensational news that it would be to the Emperor, of all people, would calm her. And there was nothing to click on there, right? Oh, there was. "Please don't put too much weight into that. A less civilized time," he says. "Can you believe that, man? I'm not giving you any more from him. It's not relevant. It's all just ignorant patriarchal stupidity. What an awful man." Yeah, block 9. The new official. On the 13th day, Young Suk finally passed the civil service examination. Otherwise, the final month of the 318th year was without event. What's the point of having that there? Lots of stuff to keep track of. Okay. Maybe I can ask for more information. Not there. Block 5? I think I got everything from here. Oh, maybe I missed one. Oh, Do you want to know more from Kim Young-sok's wife? Or do you want the reply from her mother? How about her mother? Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have anything. Oh, useful. I can explain why if you want. Go ahead. You have to understand something. It's traditional for women's letters to be deleted after being read, so the disk space can be reallocated. Okay? Women aren't really supposed to read or write. Certainly the nobles did. It's just the idea was that spending time on education got in the way of the important virtues for women, which was serving her husband. So in practice, even if a woman was literate, she could at least excuse it by destroying her words afterwards. It's less pretentious if the writing wasn't permanent. Does that sound reasonable to you? Yes it is. but that's how it is. But regardless, Kim Young-sok's wife was definitely considered a very virtuous woman, so I have none of the letters that she received. So I'm sorry I can't give you anything there. But you can give me more for her wife. Food. Yes, her. Very well, I can give you a couple from his wife. Here they are. The new wife. My new wife moved in last week, and she's been pestering me ever since. Everywhere I go in the house, she's either following me or waiting outside the door. The first time it happened, it unnerved me like no one would believe. The most recent time, I'd stopped being unnerved and moved on to just plain annoyed. I only had one thought. Why wouldn't this silly girl just give me some peace? No wonder her parents were so anxious to see her, to send her to our home. Hours before, she'd been hanging around in the room. I finally kicked her out when my mathematics tutor arrived. The session went without any hitch, aside from reminding me just how much I hate the damned subject, and after a few hours, he left. And who's kneeling right outside my door? It's her, of course. Have you been there the whole time, I asked her? Of course she had. For the love of we need to talk. So I brought her back in and sat her down at the desk. What? What is this? You're driving me insane. I don't have time to be babysitting you constantly, I said. I wasn't angry, just annoyed. But she looked alarmed all the same. For a moment, I was worried she was going to start crying. Instead, she just turned her head away. Do you hate me? She asked. Women, why must they be so damn emotional? I reminded myself that I was talking to a female. I needed to approach this differently. I said, you're very pretty. I appreciate that you're trying. So no, of course I don't hate you. She looked back at me, seeming like she was holding back tears. Then why don't you need me for anything? Is there nothing I can do for you? No, not unless you can help me study the classics. She looked down. Right now, nothing is more important to me than passing the civil service exam. Can you even read? A little, she said. A little isn't enough, I replied. What if I sat in on your lessons? I could learn more. I'd be quiet, of course. Please. I was about to say no, then I changed my mind and agreed. When I heard her next line, at least give me a chance to earn your approval. Please? The new girl. Dearest Mother, it seems as though there will be a new girl in the family. I don't really understand the details, but her name is the Pale Bride. And it seems as though she's a 13-year-old girl who's been kept inside a giant egg through some sort of magical technology passed through the Kim family over the generations. As I said, I don't understand how such a thing is possible, but she seemed nice enough. What's the face for? Young-sok seems quite annoyed at her arrival. However, he explained to me why. The plans to offer her as a concubine to the emperor. She's young and beautiful, and he's still without a son, so it'll probably go a long way in currying favor. And that's bad, I asked him. Not strictly, he admitted. But it means father doesn't have much faith in me, and if he's making contingency plans that don't require my involvement, now I'll never know if my success was on my own merits, or because the emperor thinks the girl he'll give is cute. Did you ever tell him your plan of working your way to becoming High Magistrate? If he knows that, how can he think a contingency is necessary, I asked. Good question, he said, and left the room without looking annoyed. To this day, these worries of his still seem to plague him, and I can't seem to do anything that could relieve him of that. Kim Young-sok. I can't even keep track of all of them. Okay, so it's the one that we're talking about in this one. Or the previous one, right? Wait, is that just the emperor? The new wife, Kim Young-sok? Okay, yeah, that's his wife. And his wife is the Pale Bride, right? So Kim Young-sok must be the emperor? I don't know. I should have asked for more details. So let's go back here. Maybe she'll finally tell me what the password is. I'm really sorry. Please don't get mad, but I don't understand what you're looking for. Maybe I'm not just getting it, and it's my fault, but I can't seem to find anything that seems relevant. Sorry. The new wife here. It's probably best if I take another look at the family tree. I'm really bad at understanding connections through words, so I'm more of a visual person. Okay. Kim Young-suk. Okay. So Young-suk is over there. Yu In-hyo is his wife. Yu Jae-hwa. Hey Cece, good to see you back. I'm not doing Pokemon anymore. Yeah, I still don't get the family tree. It's just hard for me to piece everything together in my mind, so don't worry about it. I'll just keep reading and focus on that. I think Pale Bride is the only one I need to care about. Looks like there's more I can get out of this one. Can I, yeah, show message. Well, that fear turned out to be completely unfounded. You'll see soon enough if you read more about the Pale Bride, so give me more information on Pale Bride. Nope. Insufferable child. Okay, I already did that. I think I already clicked on all of these. Oh, found one. The Pale Bride did keep an extensive diary. I'll try to find you some more entries. Good. Gimme. Oh wow, that's a lot. Held prisoner, the Pale Bride. Dear Diary, today I was forced to stay in the home all day. I didn't get to leave yesterday, or the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that, or any other day either. I want to write about how much the ship has changed since I was put into stasis, but I can't even see it. I keep asking why I'm being kept prisoner. Nobody will tell me. That woman who keeps bossing me around, she's awful. I'm dying here. I keep telling her I'm sick. That's why I was in stasis to begin with, but she won't listen. She just treats me like I'm a stupid kid. I tried to argue with her. Look at how pale I am. Can't you see that I'm sick? I swear I'm not making up what she said in response. Why must you be so rude? It's not polite for a girl to boast about her beauty. Beauty? I tried not to cry in front of her. I had to do that a lot. I'm not beautiful. I have a compromised immune system. I shouted at her and ran away. I don't remember what she said back. Something about using big words, I think. How stupid is she? She hates me. I don't know why, but she hates me. That's not why I'm allowed to go visit the ship's plaza, though. Jung-soo, the man who keeps telling me to call him father, said the same thing. He promised me that I would have a chance to leave soon, though. I don't think he was being nice, though. I'll write about him more later. Right now I have to go to bed, or the woman will get mad at me again. Yeah, it's, basically a visual novel. Lots of reading story-based. There's also a Linux command prompt, so that's pretty cool. Why I'm reading all of these like stories is to find the password. Well, also for the sake of the story, but the password is Pale Bride's real name. And it's taking a lot of delving into these letters to find it. The Pale Bride. Dear Diary, I got in trouble today, but for the first time it was my own fault. A little bit, at least. I still think sister-in-law was being crazy about it, but I should have known better. Now that I write that it looks ridiculous, God, what is living with these people doing to me? The computer console in my own room doesn't have anything in it. I don't just mean it doesn't have all the cartoons I brought from Earth, or any of my books, or anything. I mean there's literally nothing there for me to entertain myself with. Nothing. So I thought to myself, maybe that sister-in-law might be different, and checked, but, you know, it wasn't. So instead, I decided to go check in Father's study, not snooping or anything, just looking on his computer for books. I thought that it might be bad, but my real father would never have gotten too upset. What could the harm be? I was in there for 10 minutes, looking for anything that was written in Korean. There was nothing. By the way, every single book symbol looked like looked like Chinese characters. Every single one. I think maybe something terrible happened in the past that made all the computer data get deleted, and everybody forgot how to read Korean. And also they all got really stupid about things. I don't think I'll ever find out why. It just sucks. Anyway, I was only in there for 10 minutes, searching through the console, when Young-sok walked in. I thought he was going to get really angry, but actually he just acted like he was really scared. He didn't scold me when he dragged me out, he just looked really worried. I only got in trouble when he brought me back to his wife. He told her, "Do you have any idea where she was? She was in the men's quarters looking through Father's computer. Do you have any idea how he would react if he saw that? You're supposed to be watching her." She apologized repeatedly to him. I just didn't know what to say. I don't think sister-in-law did either. After he left, she gave me this really long and awful lecture. Why would you go into the men's quarters? Why would you go looking for books? Why must you be so unfilial? Do you really not understand that you're a girl? I told her I didn't understand. I mean, of course, I'm a girl, but I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she just lectured me more. I hate her so much. Why? Because post-apocalyptic China? Year 200,000 or so? This is what happens when the world gets nuked in World War III or whatever. I'll just let you keep reading. Please let me know when you've read all of the ones I've gave you. Okay, cool. Wait, what's this? Did I miss something? So there's probably one big question on your mind, isn't there? That isn't being addressed at all, right? What happened in between Pale Bride being frozen and waking up that made society go all wrong, right? Okay, it's in Korea then. Then why are they all speaking Chinese? Wait. Or reading in Chinese characters? I'm sorry, I'm terrible at keeping track of the story. Okay. I'm figured. I mean, it's the obvious question. Sorry, I wish I could tell you more, but I'm afraid that mystery is lost to time. I guess that's pretty anticlimactic, sorry. I really want to know, too. Whatever terrible thing happened, it must have been really big. Really big. But I'm afraid all the log data from before the year 1 was wiped, and all the clocks were reset. I guess that's why it was called Year 1. Well, yeah. Anyway, so nobody remembered what happened in between, or even remembered how long it was between. It was hundreds of years, I assume, but I really don't know. So yeah, really sorry to let you down there, but that part's going to be a mystery forever. There's nobody you could possibly know. You'll just have to take it as a given. Sorry. Useful information. Yay. Have I been missing like a billion of those things down there? Oh god, another flashing thing. I'm probably missing so much. Say, before you keep going, can I interrupt you for just a couple minutes? Sure. Thanks. It's just, well, you're finding out so much about the Mungunghua, but I know absolutely nothing about where you're from. Is this date the AI or something? It's not just that nobody's been... that there's nobody... It's not just that there's been nobody to talk to for centuries, I mean. I don't like that either, but the ship is all I really know about, and it's been disconnected from all other civilizations for so long. So, you're from the United Korean Space Probe Agency, right? Or I guess maybe a future version of it. No! Oh, I assumed you were. Well, strictly speaking, only someone from the UKSPA would be authorized to access these systems, so I wouldn't really be able to help you if you weren't. So, obviously, I just made some mistake, right? You actually are. No, I'm not! Jeez, I just gave you... Oh, come on, why must you be so difficult? Is this why I lose the game? Fine, here I am breaking the rules just for you. Are you happy now? Jeez. You can get her to change her outfits and get her to cosplay. Okay. Well, I mean, in terms of animated characters, she's pretty cute. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What I really want to know about is Earth. I mean, I'm sort of aware of it. I know it's the planet we all come from, but I really don't know anything about it. Wait, since when can computer AIs break rules? Are these like the kind of artificial intelligences that decide their own destiny and that kind of thing? Like, Skynet? But I really don't know anything about it. I have some ideas, but I don't think they're really right. I'll have to get that achievement then. But you know all about it, right? I mean, even if you're not from there, you know what it's like, right? Yeah. Oh, wonderful. I sort of understand the basics, like, it's a big sphere that everybody lives on. Good job, computer system! And there's unimaginable vast amounts of open space. I should probably go get some water. Oh, I have some right here. Did you know? Talking a lot makes your throat dry. Because it does. And you can only see the stars at night, right? Because the sky all just looks blue during the day. All of this is just what I know from the Pale Bride. She never saw Earth. She was second generation, born on the ship after it had long left the Earth star system. God, no one ever got to see Earth, like in this entire storyline. But her parents were born on Earth, so she heard some stories from them when she was young, and I think they bought a lot of books and movies with them. I don't know, I'm just a little skeptical given she was just a child when she learned all that. Maybe she got mixed up. Oh yeah, this is hardcore. What can I actually ask in a yes or no question? I didn't realize how hard this would be. So you like me, right? I mean, I know I'm just a computer system, but I've done so much for you, like breaking the rules, and presenting myself as a fairly attractive female Asian. Oh, excuse me, Asian not specific enough, Korean. Well, that's just an assumption, but probably. Can computer AIs have a nationality? The country they were programmed in, I guess. Well, her name's Korean, so she's Korean. Well, alright, so the Mungunghua was originally supposed to be established a colony at some star or other 100 light years away. I know that. That was a really long time ago. Did other spaceships ever succeed where we didn't, or is it still just Earth? Do I just decide the truth? There are other planets. Well, that's wonderful to hear. Oh, I know. Is it really true that on Earth, seasons aren't just metaphors? Like, oh, this sounds silly now that I actually put it into words, but the Pale Bride seemed to think that winter wasn't just something that happened to you emotionally. On Earth, it was when actually an entire part of the planet turned frigid. Does that have any basis in reality? No, that's obviously impossible! There must be an achievement for trolling her the entire game and lying about everything. Wow, my word, that's amazing. Seriously? That sounds like I can't even imagine that. What else is there? Oh, there was a city that her parents were from. I think it was called Pyongyang. Isn't that the capital of Korea? South Korea, at least. Oh, wait. Oh, is that North Korea? Actually, that's the capital of North Korea, I think. Seoul is the capital of South Korea. I'm horrible at geography. They described it as being amazing. If you looked up, all you would see were huge, bright white buildings, as tall as 100 or more decks. Oh, well, clearly I have to tell the truth to her, then. The game isn't complete until we get her in a swimsuit. Oh, on the, I'm not sure the word for this. It means, sort of, the bottom deck. Anyway, they said that at the bottom there were streets that were lined with willow trees, and the tops of buildings had flower gardens. Have you ever been to that city before, or at least heard of it? Pyongyang? Sure, why not? Really? So it does exist then. I'm not gonna troll her. I'm not that mean to computer AIs. If it wasn't for computers, I couldn't be streaming for you guys. Is it really as beautiful as they said, truly? Probably. Wow, amazing, just amazing. I'd love to see that. You know what it is? It just sounds so perfectly romantic. I'm not really, well, you've seen what all the logs are about. I'm not used to things being romantic. It sounds nice. That's really my question, I guess. Is Earth worth being romantic about? Obviously. Well, I guess I've already wasted enough of your time with all my silly questions, haven't I? There's just, well, please humor me one more. Jeez, like 5? Come on. Do you think I could ever see Earth? Probably not, but it's possible. Ah, well, thank you for saying that. It just sounds so romantic, and I'd really like to see it someday. Thanks. Very well. I promised I'd stop wasting your time, so what did you want to ask me about? Not much. Straight to hell. Okay, that sounds like an article. Dear Diary, this nightmare has gone for so long, I think I'm starting to forget what life used to be like. I have a new theory. Father was wrong about the cryostasis keeping me alive until I could be cured. I think it didn't work at all. I think I just died and went straight to hell. But that's positive outlook. I decided I'm going to write down all the things I used to be able to do, just so I can remember. I used to be able to read books, I used to be able to have friends, I used to be able to go to school, I used to be able to leave home and to go visit the plaza, or anywhere else on the ship. I like the Pale Bride. She's got a nice personality. The change in her speech. See it someday? Wouldn't see it with me be better than see it someday? I guess I'll have to let my girlfriend know that we need to break up because I need to go watch. I need to go date a Korean computer AI. I'm just so good with the ladies, computer or otherwise. To leave the home and go, yeah, okay, I already got that part. I think I even used to be able to be in any part of the house I wanted and talk to any visitors as much as I like. I have memories of always spending time with my father and mother and brother in the living room. I know my father thought being respectful was important too, but I don't know. I'm so confused now. I thought he always taught me to be strong and to speak up for myself. Did he really say that? I'm being sarcastic, of course. But the scary thing is, sometimes I really do forget. Sometimes I think, if I was just obedient to what my sister-in-law tells me to do, it would make things easier. Maybe I should just give in and be passive. Just sometimes. I'm scared, though. What if I end up really believing that? Huh. In the later notes, emails. Wasn't she the perfect definition of a submissive woman? Did something happen between now and then? Is that what I'm supposed to be picking up on? Maybe I should, like, play Cooney Pop or something the other game. I've been seeing that go around, the Let's Players and all that. The game about playing Bejeweled to get laid with various women and pixies and whatever else. Yeah, it might be amusing. Wife. K2, you're sitting there with all the answers and you're like, mwahaha, Dark Skeleton knows jack shit about the real storyline. He's going to be so blown away by all the twists. Okay, I already read waifu. Oh, another one. I should click this. Oh, hi. Say, do you mind taking a break for a couple minutes just to chat? I mind. Go ahead. Thanks, I appreciate that. Really, I appreciate that you're here. I know you've got ulterior motives, what they are. I'm not really sure, but most people do. And that's alright all the same. Yes, for just $14.95 a minute, I will take your breath away. I'm glad you're reading these logs, though. Even if you don't really care, it's better than nobody from the outside the ship ever seeing them, which is what I thought would happen for sure. Or am I just being cynical? If so, my apologies. Oh, now she's got, like, the cute... I don't know what to call that face. Embarrassed? Please tell me, what do you think about what you've read of the Pale Bride? It's tragic. Glad to have you aboard, man. No, I get to join in the hearts too. Does that work? Okay, good. That's how you do a heart. I'm really glad to hear you say that. Nobody else seemed to think so. There's something, well, here I've added another message for you. Just, well, she's pretty easy to date. She has all these emotions already of being kind of shy, embarrassed, that kind of stuff. So she's either well, she's not a Tsundere because she's not, like, abusing me with her speech, which is... I don't know why anime has that meme. The shy girl who does horrible things to people to show that, or to hide the fact that she likes them. Oh, at least use my real name. Oh, am I finally gonna get it here? Dear Diary, this week I tried to convince the old man to put me back into stasis by going on a hunger strike. It didn't work, obviously. On the plus side, at least I figured out where that stupid name they all keep calling me came from. Sorry, that last bit was written yesterday. I couldn't bring myself to keep going. I just kept crying. I still would be, but well, it just gets exhausting after a while. I'm too tired to cry. Things aren't going to get better. They can't get better. I'm not going to get put back into stasis. I'll be dead by the time I'm 18. Why, oh why did I ever agree to be frozen in the first place? If the future can't make me better, I'd rather die with my family here. At least, rather than these awful Kims. I wonder if they'll realize I was right after I die. Anyway, hunger strike! Yay! It was really hard, and I kinda cheated by sneaking into the kitchen for a Snickers bar while nobody was looking. But it at least convinced Father to listen. Fine. He said by the 4th dinner time, I'll show you why I can't. Up until then, he said that, I had been hopeful. Everything would be fine if he just put me back, I thought. But, sorry, I guess I've been trying to write this for 2 days now. It's really hard. Anyway, He took me to see the egg I hatched from, his stupid name for the stasis pod. When he said hatched, the worst possible thing came to mind. Worse, it turned out to be true. In order to get me out, he had to smash apart the glass with a hammer. The pod was still full of shards. All my hope died when I saw that broken glass. The time was right to bring you into the world, he said. I don't remember what I said. Something obscene, probably. It wasn't enough. I know it's hard, Pale Bride, but it is for a greater purpose. What's the point of arguing? It was broken, and nobody in this would know how to fix the pod now. Instead, I argued with him with what I could. Why do you keep calling me that? I said to him. He responded by pointing at an inscription my real father had left on the pod. A message from me when I woke up. The first line was written in Chinese characters. His idea of being fancy, I suppose, but he explained them in Korean underneath. See, the old man told me, the rest is foreign and archaic, but it names you at the top, the Pale Bride. It didn't say that at all. I shrieked at him in response. You idiot, you moron, you illiterate. Probably some other things too, I can't remember exactly. I was furious. Are you stupid? That's not how those characters are read. It says, to my sick daughter, you illiterate monster. It says, sick daughter, me. He started to argue, but then stopped. I think he was patronizing me. As if I can't read simple Korean script, he just asked in the smuggest voice. Then what should I call you, child? I screamed. Oh, shit! I screamed. I'd already told him 1,000 times before. Hyun I, my name is Hyun I. And now she's artificial intelligence! Hooray! Mind blown. Yeah, there's a shocking revelation for you. I can guess what you're going to ask, and yes, it's me. Okay, too, sitting there with all your knowledge and information. Well, you asked for all those logs, right? That's the information you were looking for, wasn't it? I'm not really an AI. I mean, I am now, but I used to be a girl, and I just thought, well, I had thought it'd be easier to just keep pretending to be the log-keeping program rather than explain the whole situation. I don't really wish to drag out the point. You've already heard more than enough about me. I'm sure you don't want more. Of course I want to know more about you. I mean, I understand. I figured out what you were actually looking for at the start. Your name? I saw your login attempt. No! She'd be key logging me, bros. How dare you? She's like the NSA or something. I know what you were trying to do, and, well, I've re-enabled it. Just please be honest with me. Is that what you wanted to know about? I think I'm supposed to be honest here. That's what I thought. You have the password. Do what you will with it. Did I just piss her off? Whoops. Shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She seems really pissed. Did I just mess up? System error detected. Data corruption in AI Core 1 has been detected. Try recovering now. Yes. Okay, sure. Checking their damage sectors. 32 damage sectors detected. No attempting repair. Okay, well, back in 7 hours because hard drive repairs take a shitload of time. Oh, check disk. What am I gonna do with you? Mute. Disable the Hyunai. Haha. Wait, help. Oh, whoops. Aha! Pune? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here for a couple minutes. I gotta use the bathroom, and I also have to get more water. And then we'll go ahead and enable mute. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, roughly back. Got some pretzels, full glass of water. I think we're good here. Yes, I disabled her. That's just how I roll. It's time to date a new AI. Come to think of it, it is kind of a dick move to disable her. It's like, oh no, now I'm never going to see him again. He's disabling me. He's leaving me for that other AI. Okay, what the hell is going on? Oh, this is the Tsunder. Wow, that's bright. Wait, remote connection established? Is there somebody out there from outside the ship? Okay, sorry. Wait. Are all of the artificial intelligences also characters from the storyline? Is this maybe the second wife or something? I don't know. Okay, sorry, I was just taking an inventory of systems right now. Could you give me a second here? Like, I've been out of commission. Like, I've been out of commission for 626 years? 22 years? Yeah, this is... You couldn't tell in 3 seconds, could you? Right, that's kind of messed up. Anyway, I'm up to speed now. I'll try not to eat too much. Logs are basically saying that nothing has happened since I went offline, except the ship's slowly losing power and the main reactor has seen better days. Oh, she's got the snaggletooth thing going on. Fangs. Canine teeth. But you, hello! You're the first person from outside the ship I've had contact with, and... Well, as far as I can remember, I'm Mute, AI in charge of the Moon Gunghua's security operations. It's nice to meet you. Okay, it looks like I can't actually get any text input from you. I'm guessing this is all that crazy-ass murderess's fault. I'm sorry. But why don't you tell me a bit about yourself anyway? Like, sorry, this is kind of a weird question, but are you a man or a woman? What if I said woman? It's tempting, but I won't. Or should I? I'll wait a minute if you guys have an opinion. Maybe I'll go straight up for now, and then I'll troll her later. Gotcha, sir. That's good to know. Do you have any idea how hard it is to talk to someone when you don't even know that much about them? So where are you from, Earth, or are you from one of the colonies? Wait, there are colonies, right? I mean, I always got the impression that this ship was supposed to be the founding one. Yes, okay. So are you from one of them, or are you from Earth? Earth, let's say. Yeah, that's true. It would be a little bit of a swaggle. It's good to know that you can get different options by choosing woman right there. Cool, I wish I could have asked you what that's like. What, being a dude? Oh no, being from Earth. I think I'm from here too, but well, my memory only goes blank 300 years before getting deactivated. Pretty much all my knowledge of anything between the year comes secondhand from the Pale Bride's childhood diaries, and well, man, they're about as childish as it possibly gets. Guess I'm not going to really find more out with that line of questioning though, right? Okay, well, what else is important that I can ask in binary questions? Oh, I know. Are you married yet? No. Bow, chick, bow, bow. Ah, fair enough. Related to that, wait. That's the third question you ask someone? Who the hell does that? Related to that, I don't really know anything about spaceships or anything, but I can get a visual on yours, and it looks really, really small. What's... Not even gonna go there. It's just you all alone alone there. Yeah. Spicy face. A man in the middle of space, all on his own. Sounds awfully romantic. So, to romance her, I gotta be a bad boy, huh? Well, I think that's about all I can think of for now. Sorry, it's not really a lot to go off. I know, although I guess I did get the most important things. I'll let you know if I think of anything else, alright? I have a terrible, terrible mind when it comes to interpreting what people are talking about. Anyway, from what it looks like, you were going over some logs with that crazy murderous bitch, right? Yeah. She's gotta be like... Oh, I think I'm distorting the sound. She's gotta be like one of the other people in the family tree. How could anyone else hate her so much? I'd love to help you with those instead. As an added bonus, I promise I won't ever commit mass murder, unlike a certain someone. Oh! Well, that's great. You won't go on a mass murder spree. Wait. She keeps calling her a murderer. What happened to the ship? Why is there nobody on the ship? Dun. Mute. Or Smith family tree. Oh, maybe she's from the Smith family. Okay. Well, if she's from the Smith family, the Smiths look more Asian than the Kims. And I thought they'd be like American. I guess everybody looks Asian in anime. I don't know. Okay, Mute. Oh, wait. Her name's Mute? I actually saw that name come up before. Duh. Okay, Smith family tree. Okay, I already saw that. Oh, wait. I should click the show message. Well, I think it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Yeah, but who was she in the past? Before she was a security AI? That's the question. That's what a genealogy... Magic? That's what a genealogy is supposed to look like. Hope that's more helpful. Kim family tree. Show message. She's probably gonna say like, God, whatever Pale Bride did was awful. Hune. You typed the pronunciation in the chat like I need to hear it again. I know, I'm not great with pronunciation. Don't make me cry. Oh yeah, what a mess. Ew, yeah, what a mess. She's not that snarky. Leave it to her to clutter things up with useless names. It's no surprise coming from someone as childish as her, of course. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Namjoon Yobi. Men are honored, women are abashed. Yes, I've already kind of memorized that. Okay, yeah, no. Abashed? Seriously? What a complete and utter misrepresentation. In case it wasn't obvious, that's a completely liberal and messed up translation. Yes, it's a common phrase, but that's not what it means. What it really just means is male superiority. That's all. Fine. It's a cliche that kind of states the obvious. So what? Abashed? No, abased? Oh, it's abased, not abashed. Got it. Thank you. I don't know where she's pulling this women are abashed. Abased. Wait. Yeah, based. Crap. I'm confusing myself now. It's a based, right? I don't know where she's pulling this women are based nonsense from. It's stupid. Oh, maybe Mute is the one who's wrong because Mute doesn't know the old characters. Okay, so what is it that you wanted to know about? Why don't you show me something and I'll see what I can find for you, okay? A pack of idiots. Gotcha, you want to know more about the Smith family? Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. Those had problems like you would not believe. Technically, I belong to the Ryu family, but, well, I spent a lot of time reading, keeping up on the Smith's family gossip. They used to be the most important noble house, above even the Kims, you know. So I know a lot about them. What sort of things do you want to hear about? Something truly scandalous. Oh, I can definitely do scandalous. Oh, you're really gonna love this. It's really, really hot. I'm not really sure she's a tsundere. Unfortunately, it probably doesn't go into as much detail as you like, but well, wow, just see it for yourself. I kind of feel bad about Hyune. Like I should probably go bring her back sometime, but I know I need to have Mute up if I'm going to continue the story. Well, when I first saw you bringing my husband home in the late hours of the night, I was jealous. All I could think of was my daughter, and the first courtesan he had an affair with 9 years ago. With every brief glimpse of you that I saw as you passed through our home, my heart burned a little, as if you embodied every single fault of my farce of a marriage. I will never send this letter because I know how ridiculous it sounds. For weeks I, a noble wife, could be jealous of a poor courtesan. But you are young and beautiful, full of energy and grace. I am none of these things. Only after you had been entertaining him for a month did I start to realize what I was really feeling. True, I was jealous. But not for you, but for having my husband. I was jealous of my husband for having the affections of a girl so pretty as you. These are such ridiculous thoughts for a woman to have, I know. And even more ridiculous still is the way they have overwhelmed me. I used to dread my husband bringing his courtesans home with him. Now I look forward to your nights together. How could I not, when it means I am treated to the sight of your bashful face in the morning? When we exchange glances, you hide behind your long hair with so much cuteness and grace, my eyes can't help but wander, to admire the way it rests on your breast, to see your clothes draped loosely over your hips. I cannot help from admiring your body as you try to hide from me. I take it you didn't like it when I told Hyune I was only in it for the password. She didn't seem to like that either. It is ridiculous to be so preoccupied with such thoughts, and perhaps it was better off not having even realizing them. Nevertheless, even though I may be as much of a woman as you are, I find myself longing for the same affections you shower my husband with. There's more to it than that. I would like to truly get to know you better. I like to imagine that we have much in common aside from the obvious. When I see you hiding in the corridor in those mornings, I imagine wrapping my own arms around those lovely hips. Sharing long conversations about our tribulations in life, discovering just how much we are alike. And perhaps I like to imagine we could share more than that. I've been married for 10 years to a man who has never paid me any attention for 9 of them. Perhaps my old age has seen me bold, but I want more. The next time I see you, I promise I will say something, for in all my 26 years, I have never felt a longing for anything this intensely. I don't care how wrong it is, as a wife and as a woman, I want you, Hannah. She's talking about... She's talking about wanting to bad her sister-in-law. I want you, Hannah. I don't care how wrong it is, as a wife and as a woman, I want you, Hannah. Okay, well, cool. I didn't know that the game was going to take this direction, but okay. Husband's whore, sister-in-law, close enough. Hannah. My art is that of lies and lying, and of both I have much practice. I've said to men I love you falsely. I've suffered pain but smiled in pleasure, but the hardest lie I've ever told was that I could live without you. Wow. Okay, she really has something for her. Shouldn't I be asking about those scandalous things? Man, how's that for verse? Really, it's not the translation, I assure you. It's not exactly any better in the original Korean. Can you believe that was actually written by someone who had studied poetry for years? I know, right? Well, that's no surprise, I guess. I mean, for one, I'm pretty sure that all poetry written by 16-year-olds is just inherently awful, and she's no exception. She doesn't know anything, and it really shows. But, well, you know, more than that, she's still a whore. And a woman. To be fair, you wouldn't really expect any better, regardless of age. I don't know much about the subject, but I mean, come on! Come on! There's a reason why men's poetry is what gets studied and taught, and women's poetry is just used for seduction. You need real sincerity. You need someone who actually understands love. It's titillating, sure, but it's crap. Anyway, though I guess you want to see the other poem that whore wrote for... Yep. Right, of course. Here, have it. If you found the last one arousing, well, it's not any good, but I'm sure you'll be entertained at least. Sorry, I can't give you one... I can't at least give you one that was meant for a man, though. That's all the whore's poetry for Sojin. She didn't seem to write down the ones she did for anybody else, so that's all you get. I can probably click something here too. Show message. I bet that wasn't what you were expecting from a noble wife, was it? I still have a hard time believing she was really capable of sinking to that. But well, it totally does get even better. I'll show you. Just be warned, it's pretty depraved stuff. Okay, I'll go in order. To my lovely Sojin, you made it so easy, you know that? I always wanted to be seduced. The more I learned about it, the better I got at it. The more I thought about how lucky men are, that they'll get to be on the receiving end of it. It's always seemed like it would be so much fun. But that wasn't why I dropped my guard in front of you, by the way. I was actually really wary the whole time you were serving me breakfast. Do you know what I first thought? I thought maybe you were trying to poison me. I mean, not seriously, of course, but it crossed my mind. So no, I was really guarded until you started talking. You know what it was that got me? Do tell me how hard it is studying to be a courtesan. I answered modestly. Oh, you know, there's nothing to learn. You just have it or you don't. The answer that any man would expect, but you? You wouldn't have any of that, you said. Please don't lie. I actually want to know. It takes years, does it not? That must be intense for a girl of your age. Then you learn it, leaned in. I started to blab about how it kind of is pretty intense, and I only realized an hour later that I was staring into your eyes, telling you, proudly no less, about my whole life story. Our faces were barely a foot apart by the time I noticed what you had done. And that was how you caught me totally off guard. I had no idea what to do. Should I touch you? What's the right body language in that situation? Was I even interpreting you right? Or was it all in my head? Not even the slightest clue. You had me good. And you played it so well. You know just the right moment to pull back and tell me to go on my way, but in a way that left me wondering. Sojin, you made it so easy. Returning home, my heart was so fluttered, my feelings so confused, and all I could do was think about you. You, the bored old wife of my patron, actually managed to seduce me, just like that. I'd always wanted to know that feeling, and you know, it was everything I dreamed it to be. Okay. Poem. Pretty flower, who could plant you, then abandon you in your bed? Every day I stop to admire your aroma. Will you gardener mind? Every night I pluck on your petals. Each night I pluck my own petals, but dream of yours in bloom. Not sure I've made my mind up about them yet. Man, how's that for verse? Really, it's not the translation, I assure you. It's not exactly any better in the original Korean. Wait, this is just the same thing as before. Oh, I clicked the wrong one, that's why. Or did I? No. They're different ones. Unsent Ladder 3. How anyone can manage this, I do not know. Whenever I am with you, I feel as though there's so much pressure to be perfect, to not let you down, as if every hour of our being together is like a marriage interview with an emperor, and yet I can't stand it when you're gone. All I can think of all day is how I could hold your attention for the next time. The night you snuck over knowing my husband was out, I was so terrified. You just suddenly appeared on my doorstep. Your face veiled as if you were a noble woman, and I knew I could hardly turn you away. Do you know why I immediately went to make you tea, making you wait in the other room, to give me a chance to calm my nerves? I was surprised to realize you were just as nervous as I, so I knew I could take advantage of that. I put both cups on the same side of the table and sat cross-legged. Come, I said, sit with me, and gestured. Or gestured. I think it's gestured. You were so graceful in sitting on my lap. Your small body was just the right size. And I saw that even you couldn't help but blush, and we drank tea together. But halfway through, you put your cup down and turned around, so you were facing me, our heads just inches apart. You whispered, forget about the tea, and clasping my hand, your tiny fingers intertwined with mine, and you kissed me so softly. Up until that point, I had been worried, trying to figure out what I should do. Was I playing the man's role, or were you? But after smelling the scent of your breath and tasting the sweetness of your lips, how could I possibly ignore the passion stirring enough to care about such things? I put down the cup and took you by the chin, gently pushing you away. Oh, what longing and uncertainty was in your eyes at that moment. Beautiful Hannah. I smiled as I stared back at them, intoxicated with the fact that I had you now literally under my thumb. I unclasped our hands and undid the bow of your blouse, watching your lips quiver as I pulled over the flap covering your small breasts. How far does this game go? With all this. I mean, it's fine. Running my fingers along the edge, I admired just how soft they were, so perfectly shaped. Are you sure? You started to ask, but I silenced you with that kiss you were so eager for. You shivered as I enjoyed the taste of your mouth, and was so anxious when I stopped and turned you back around once more. Will you sing for me? I whispered into your ear, you nodded, and referring to your trade, said, I'd love to write you a poem, Sojin. I responded,